Hello, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, with a box and a toy. And I'm wondering if anyone can guess why I have these two things together. Well, how could you ever guess? Who knows? It could be anything. But I'm going to tell you why. So this item is an item I've had in my collection for a very long time. It is a Star Wars movie viewer. Okay, and I might have talked about this in previous episodes. So kids, in order to understand the awesomeness that is this device, you need to understand a few things. First of all, I need to take you back to a time before streaming, before the internet, before computers, or at least before computers were anything but giant room-sized devices only used by the government and huge corporations. Take you to a time when there were not DVDs or Blu-ray. In fact, there were not even laser discs, as they would say in Disney, or video cassette players. No. These were not common things. Back in 1977, you went to go see the movies, like Star Wars, and if you wanted to see anything else, if you wanted to have any kind of a tangible evidence of that or reminders of that, you would do things like coloring books, slide projectors, meaning you would take a look at something that you can shine through a flashlight and it would flash on the wall. It would be a picture. Viewmaster, where you would look at something and it was kind of three-dimensional and you'd click to go to another one and another one. It was really just the kind of thing where it just had this kind of pop-out sensation. Albums, record albums, like the story of Star Wars, okay, where you would listen to someone narrate and hear the sound effects and music from the film and the dialogue, but condensed to a 40-minute time slot. Or you could get something like this, which is a movie viewer. Now, I wish I could put this to the front here. I don't think it'll work, but let me first look on my end here and see. See, I'm cranking, right? And then I can see Stormtroopers and 3PO and the Rebel Troopers, and then I see Owen, and I see 3PO talking, so 3PO and Luke comes up. And then I see, what else do I see? I see the Sand Troopers watching the Millennium Falcon take off on Tatooine. There's Chewie and the Falcon and Han. And then being chased by the Star Destroyer. And then Chewie and the Stormtroopers are... So you're basically getting very quick snippets of the movie. No sound or anything. Just where are you taking this thing? Oh, look out, he's loose. I'm giving you kind of the play-by-play. Taking out all the sensors and the cameras. Luke and Han dressed as Stormtroopers. Aren't you a little short for a Stormtrooper? I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. And here come the rest of the troopers. And I'm watching, and then they decide they're still like looking to get out of the cell bay. Oh, there's Obi-Wan fighting Vader. And then, wow, there's actually more to this than I thought. Okay. Then you see some X-Wings, some TIE Fighters. This is like the battle on the Death Star. Oh, I'm hit. Ah. And then some more TIE Fighters. I can go faster. And then some more. And then you see a TIE Fighter or X-Wing fly away. And then you see Star Wars, May the Force be with you. So I don't know if you can see that from here. Maybe not. Yeah, you can see the reverse there, right? I can't really show you the whole thing. It won't work. But there you can see one frame. Okay? That is how we got to enjoy rewatching Star Wars. Unless we went into the movie theater. Now, I will tell you that movies sometimes got re-released. In fact, Star Wars had quite a few re-releases year after year. Okay? Not like a big special thing like the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace or the special editions that came out in 97. I'm just talking about being released in the theater another year after that, because that's how people went to see movies. So, this little give a show or movie viewer came with this little cartridge. All right, Kenner is another great Kenner item, right? So this is cool. All right, now I'm afraid to take this cartridge out. You can actually get other cartridges, but I will tell you the quality of the video, not HD. It's very grainy. It's very, it's been sitting in a basement for 40 years. I mean, it's not gonna get, we're not talking about some pristine film. Plus, it was very cheap. It was an inexpensive thing. Well, not free, but it was inexpensive compared to owning a projector or that kind of thing. All right. So I got to thinking. I was looking at my backdrop here, and I want to point out down here, we have a couple of boxes, right? And if you watch my channel, you know that I've kept a lot of my boxes from my vintage toys. Then the toys are not in there; they're on display over here. But I always loved the box art. I've always loved the box design. So I've kept the boxes, and I actually use them as my backdrop. And you can see up top here, there's a few more. All right, I have pretty much all of my boxes here. You can even look, if you look closely, like there's like even newer ones. I love that Hasbro is kind of jumping on the nostalgia bandwagon by releasing toys that are in play sets and vehicles that have the old racing stripe, right? And I like that. So I do keep those boxes for the most part anyway. And then you can't really see it over here, but my Jabba sail barge is kind of stacked up vertically right here. So it got me to thinking, you know, maybe I should start trying to find boxes to items I already have that maybe I never kept the box. I don't even think I bought this on the original market. I think I bought it in an antique store maybe 10 years later when I was a little older. But obviously it didn't come in the box. So I kind of did some research, and I realized that, my gosh, people are charging on eBay. You can buy boxes, the original vintage boxes, the inserts. I never thought to keep inserts. I have no inserts for my boxes. The instruction manual, the sticker sheet, even the sticker sheet used, with just the framing of what the stickers were. People are buying all that. They want. It's like they want to someone almost like from an archaeological standpoint. They want to piece back together the boxed toy. So I don't know if I want to go that far, but I do like the boxes. So I've been trying to track down some of the boxes of ones I don't have, like this one. Well, I haven't been able to find any, or if I have found them, people are charging very, very high amounts of money for them. So I thought, well, maybe there's another way. So I looked around, and it turns out that there is kind of a market out there for people doing what can only be described as reproduction boxes, you know. And I don't know. Everybody has their opinion about whether, you know, the appropriateness of having doing reproductions. And I guess I get that, but I also think everyone needs to chill a little bit, because it feels like, you know, people get very upset about it. I think they're just worried that the value of their toys are going to go down. And I'm like, you know what, guys, here's the thing. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When you buy a toy, you bought the toy. You paid money, and for that money, you received a toy. It's a simple transaction. Now, whether that toy goes up or down in value really has nothing to do with you, other than, you know, you caring for that toy, keeping it mint in the box or whatever. It really doesn't. It's just how the market's going to go. And everybody was really upset when Lucasfilm started, releasing the rights to. Oh God! It took me a second to open this box, and in it is another box. Hold on. Yeah. No, I'll put that box in another box, and I'll mail that box to myself. Who got the title of that movie? Okay. Oh, but this box at least is open. All right, good. Whew. All right. So, anyway, so there's all this talk about, people got really upset when Hasbro started making new figures again back in the 90s. It didn't change the value of the old figures. They went up. Then Hasbro started making figures that looked in the same packaging. And the value of the old figures continues to go up. And then they even made retro figures. And the value continues to go up. And then people started 3D printing and doing all this stuff and making their own. And yes, I understand some people don't like that they sell them in mass quantities, but I don't think they sell them in mass quantities like Hasbro does or Kenner does. I think their mass quantities might be dozens, maybe hundreds, if they're lucky. So you're not talking about that affecting the collector market at all. Okay, it's more about artistic pieces, which to me is no different than if you buy, say, a painting, like a Thomas Kincaid painting of the Mandalorian and Grogu, which I know for a fact they had one. Okay, my daughter was helping to sell them in Disney, and spoiler alert, not a lot of people bought them. I don't know, but they bought other Thomas Kincaid Star Wars pieces, just not that one. I don't know why. Anyway, I digress. Point is, yes, you can buy an original painting of that, meaning they made a bunch of copies by painting them of those paintings, and they will be rare, and therefore they cost more money. Or you can buy a print, which is less rare, but still not everybody puts them out there. So I kind of feel like it's in that fine art kind of thing, kind of is a little subjective. So I think people need to, like anything else, they need to relax. Okay, clearly the price of figures, the vintage figures, loose, carded, damage carded, mint carded, they're all going up. I don't see that ending anytime soon. And if it does, well, it does. That's, there is no guarantees about anything retaining their value. So if you don't collect for the love of it, if you collect for the financial aspect of it, I suggest you find another thing to collect or go into the stock market. All right, get really knowledgeable about that. I think you'll do far, far better than trying to collect toys. Now, having said that, I do sell off parts of my collection, as you know, and sales coming up, and we'll be having episodes about it very soon. But the sale is there to thin out the collection, to space out what I do have, and to earn some income. That's not really income; it's just selling off items, maybe making the money back. Sometimes I make a little more. Most times I make less. But then whatever money that is, I use that to help fund other parts of the collection. So that's basically what I do. But when it came to, so let's get back to boxes. So I found somebody who does box reproduction. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to give this a shot. I want to check this out. So I found this eBayer, and he created this. This is the Star Wars movie viewer, okay, Kenner. It is essentially a reproduction box. Now, I can tell just by feeling this that there is no way anyone would mistake one of those boxes for one of these boxes. You can tell by the gloss that's on here anyway, okay? So it is 100%, looks like it's 100% box copy, okay? There's no evidence to support that this is sometimes people will put like the name of the customizer will put a little thing on there. I don't see that. It could be there. I'm just not seeing it. But I gotta say, I really, really love it. Hey mom, hey mom, when you save $1 when you buy 2 Kenner film cassettes. Ooh, save $1. So anyway, I am very impressed with this. Let's try putting our. Now the only thing is I don't know if I don't take the cartridge out. Oh, just slides out like that. All right, so I guess I put it in. Oh, you know what? On second thought, let me try doing this again with the. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, no, it still works. And then what happens is you could even test it out. Yep, you can test it out. Now I will say that without inserts, it's not going to work as well. But I remember this. Oh my god! So what happened is you can check it. You can actually test it out. It had the opening on the outside that you could spin it, right? And then it had the area where you could look in the viewer, right? And it even had the space on top where you need a natural light source, so you need to have it. There's actually a place for you to do that. So, and the only thing, as I said, it doesn't have any inserts, so it didn't come with any. So, I suppose you can kind of make up your own, but that's all right. I mean, from a display, I think honestly, what I would do, I'm gonna even leave the box open, just like that. But it's just so cool that it has it. And as I said, the box has a gloss to it. To me, I mean, it's not like the boxes maybe weren't glossy, but you can just tell by the feel of it that it is a newer box. Okay, everything about this is not 50 years old. So it's a clear indicator that this is a reproduction. Okay, if I ever decided to sell it with the box, I would probably just say, the toy is original, box is a reproduction. That's all. So I love that. I think that's really cool. Oh my god, I just remember going back to see, to sit in the store. As I said, I never owned this at first. I had to buy it on the resale market when I was a little bit older. I mean, not much later. It was like in the late 80s, early 90s, so it wasn't too far ago. But this has got a Star Wars label, so this was effectively a first run item. Now I am curious about one thing. Yep, Okay, so kids, this is a really cool thing. This is a 1977 toy. There are very few toys. None of these toys behind me are 1977. They're all at the earliest 1978. Why? Well, you know, anybody who's followed up on anything with Kenner knows that Kenner did not have the time when they got the license to make Star Wars toys very late in the game. All right, only months before the movie came out. And then the movie comes out and it's this huge hit, and now they got to scramble to figure out something to do. Well, yeah, we always heard about the early bird box, you know, the empty box campaign where you gave a box that had no figures in it, but as soon as they came, they'd be ready in March, and you get them in March. So it was a very successful campaign. But that wasn't the only thing they had. They also had puzzles, anything that only involved printing two-dimensionally, okay, you had, or involved reusing molds and things that they already had. So, two-dimensional coloring books, paint sets, puzzles, board games, you know, Escape to the Death Star, or whatever, Escape from the Death Star board game. All of those things were just printing out items on two-dimensional things, and they had all the material and all of the infrastructure to do that, right? And then they had other things, like you could get the headset, which was supposed to be like Luke talking to Han. I got him. Don't get cocky, kid. You know, whatever. They got that from the $6 Million Man, or they had the Flying Aces target game, which is ironic. These things are the most valuable stuff because a lot of people didn't want them. They wanted the toys. They wanted the figures. They didn't want stuff that was just, they slapped a Star Wars label on them. They wanted other things, but those things are worth a lot. There was also, I guess, an electric toothbrush, and this was one of those because they already had this movie viewer for other things. You could get these movie viewers for a lot of things. I mean, there's nothing very Star Warsy other than a sticker that shows this. So that's what's really cool. So I think that this is a really kind of a neat niche item, you know, and this is a very proud part of my collection. I'm glad I have it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love the box. I unfortunately do not have the person. Oh wait, yes I do. Okay, there it is. I want to give this person credit. This is Toy Room Custom Boxes. Since 2003, the best in reproduction and custom toy packaging. And you could find them at www.toyroom.com. I think they do things other than Star Wars. So, really cool. And Rome, New York. Roosevelt Avenue, Rome, New York. So, a little closer to my neck of the woods. All right, so thank you, Toy Room. I did purchase it. This wasn't a gift. But thank you, Toy Room, for an awesome product. And I'm definitely going to be looking into their website and what they have on their eBay store to see what other ones I want to get. I'm not going to get anything. Maybe I'll get one box that I already have so we can do a comparison of an original box versus their boxes. All right, but the other thing I'm looking to box up a little bit, you know, for displayable reasons, are the 12-inch vintage Star Wars figures. I do have all of them, and I would like to try to start to piece them together, get them all complete. And I think these guys do that as well. So maybe we'll look into that as well. So thank you so much for watching. Till next time, may the Force and the toys, new and old, and reproductions be with you.